Hello, I'm Greg Hrutkay of Hrutkay Mods, and welcome to episode 10 of season 4 of my PowerPC series. In today's episode, we'll be showing you something really neat that's in my hand right here. But before we do that, let's talk about this scenario here. Let's say you have a Mac notebook that doesn't have USB in it and doesn't have Bluetooth in it. Well, if you do, you probably don't need Bluetooth or USB. But let's say you do. I have a solution for that, and yeah, it's right here. This card right here, which happens to be Windows 2007 compatible. Is that right? Yeah. Windows 2007 compatible. It can't be right. Well, trust me, it's compatible with the Macs. Yeah, actually, this is compatible. It is sold on eBay, and we'll tell you more about it and show it closer to you. This is what it looks like, by the way. And it's got an extendable antenna, which is directional if you pull it out far enough. For the Bluetooth, which you don't have to actually pull out for the Bluetooth to work. But it's pretty neat. And this will work in any Mac notebook that has PCMCIA slots in it. As far as I know, it will work with any of them. And the USB 2.0 port that's in it is actually compatible with OS 9, running under 1.0, 1.1 speeds. And Bluetooth isn't, but it is compatible in OS 10. And this Bluetooth is actually compatible with at least Jaguar and later. I've never tested this particular Bluetooth chipset in anything older than Jaguar, but I know for a fact it works in Jaguar, and we'll tell you more about it when we get there. But we're going to be showing you this in my G3 Wall Street right here, which is tangled up in a bunch of wires right now, and it's probably not a good thing. And we're going to show you how it works in Tiger. Yeah, I'm running Tiger on the G3 Wall Street. You've seen that in the past videos, and it runs it okay. Not super great, but now it's going to be even more modern because it's going to have USB 2.0 in it and Bluetooth. We'll try to hook some Bluetooth things up to it and see how it likes it. So let's get to it. Okay, so before we talk about this, I decided to stop recording with my AirPods because I don't know if I like the sound of it. But we will see how that turns out in post-processing, and then I'll decide whether I want to keep using them or not in the future. But it sounds a little funny to me. So we're back to the regular microphone. And this is the card itself. And if you want to find this on eBay, you need to search USB ampersand Bluetooth card bus. And it will pop up. If you do USB and Bluetooth card bus, you won't find any results. And researching the part number does nothing in either. Or even the brand name. But yeah, this is what you get. You get a card, a Windows driver disk, which you won't need, and a USB to power wire, which looks like this right here, which, needless to say, will not do you any good if your Mac doesn't already have a USB port. But yeah. But we'll get back to that in the future, in a few minutes anyway. Here's the card. I have two of them. If you haven't been able to figure that one out, this is the card. It's got one USB 2 port in it, the power port, a Bluetooth connection light, and the Bluetooth antenna, which pulls out here. This is a little difficult to feel, like that. And then it also can be directed. I've found that you don't really need to extend it though. It gets plenty enough connection as it is. This card has a CSR 4.0 USB chip, Bluetooth USB chip in it. So this is basically a 2-port USB 2 card that has one of the ports filled up with a Bluetooth dongle built inside the card. So it's got a CSR silicon, it's Cambridge Silicon radio brand. The CSR 4.0 is the same dongles I use on most of my vintage Macs when I want Bluetooth. And it is a 4.0 Bluetooth that is backwards compatible with older copies of Mac OS. Quite an impressive chip. And this also has the compatible NEC USB 2.0 controller chip in it. And that's basically the card right there. So let's see how it works in that right there. So let's go. Okay, so before we continue by showing you how this works, I'm going to quickly talk about why this is so cool. Back in the day, USB 2 cards had this big bulbous hump tip that stuck out, and it was horrible because if you had a 2-port 2-card bus slot, you couldn't fit the Wi-Fi cards in very well if you were using one of those. And especially on a Mac, I got away with this in PCs sometimes. You could wedge the Wi-Fi card in the bottom and put the USB in the top, and it would just bend it downwards a little bit, but it would work. You can't really do that on a Wall Street. And in my Wall Street video I did a few years ago, I actually tore one of these apart and took all the casing off of it and then shoved it in there and put the USB 2 card in it just so it would all work. I wouldn't recommend doing that. This is nice because you just slide it in like so, and it's flush mount almost. And then you just take the Wi-Fi card like so, and it clips in right there, as you can see, like that. Pretty cool. Okay, so we have this thing booted up in the Tiger, and it seems to be working, so we're going to plug the card in to the slot here, and it will hopefully show up Bluetooth and stuff. You see it's squiggled out right now. Plug that in like so. It sees the card, and there's the Bluetooth. Hey, how about that? So, unknown vendor USB controller. Go over to About This Mac. Eventually, go to More Info. And as we can see, this is the Wall Street. No tomfoolery or anything like that. We go over to USB. There it is, and even sees the CSR chip that's in it. And it is indeed a USB 2 port. If we go over to Bluetooth, there's the Bluetooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate everything this can do. First off, let's plug a Mighty Mouse into it. Yeah, that wasn't good for that keyboard. Let's plug a Mighty Mouse into it right here and see if we can get some USB action here. So we'll plug this in like so. It lights up. Let's see. Well, this is actually kind of a broken mouse, but let's see if it's actually doing anything. What the heck? There we go. Yeah, it's working. It works totally fine. It's a mouse, and it's plugged into USB on a system that didn't come with USB. So that's cool. How about this? Let's take a Bluetooth keyboard and try to connect it. This thing's not on right now. It's hard to do this with one hand. It's on. So it should be in discovery mode. Let's go over to Bluetooth. Set up Bluetooth device. Continue. Keyboard. I should have probably left the mouse plugged in. Oh well. Continue. It says something. I don't know if that's it or not. Let's try it and see what happens. There it is. Greg's keyboard. Continue. Oh, you're kidding me. All right. 7 4 0 1 0 7 7 2. Oh, and enter. Not doing anything. Enter. There we go. Hey! It did do something. Let's open up something to type on. Anything to type in. It probably should have kept the mouse plugged in. Text edit. So we got that. Set this up here where you can see it. Just start typing away. As you can tell, it's not plugged into anything. It actually works with the Bluetooth. That's cool and all, but there's one experiment that I want to try that I guarantee probably will not work. And that's hooking these up, my AirPods Pros, to this. In theory, it won't work because this is a newer Bluetooth technology, and from what I understand, it doesn't work on anything older than... It might work, but we're going to find out. Plus, Tiger doesn't do external audio over Bluetooth very well. This may or may not work just because of Tiger's limitations. But if it sees them, it would be pretty neat. So what I'm going to do real quick is set this up off Shaky Cam, and we'll take it from there. It may or may not work. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to use this. Don't dim on me right now. It's still plugged in, right? Yeah, it's still plugged in. So we're going to try to put these on. To pair these to an unsupported device, you open the case and hold this button in until it blinks, and it should show up on here. I don't know if it's going to work. It probably won't. But it's worth a shot, right? I mean, why not? So let's close out text edit here. Very slowly. Quit. Don't save. Close that out. Close system profiler. Okay, ready? We're going to hook the Bluetooth up to these. And this probably won't work. Set up Bluetooth device. I've never done this. I haven't tried it. It's probably going to be a big fail. But here they are. So hit continue. And this would be considered a headset, I think. So we'll open these up like so. hit continue, and then hold the button in. You actually might see them. Huh. Continue. Continue. It's probably 0000. Continue. You're kidding me. Okay. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's pull up system preferences. We'll pull these out. Close that. Here are the AirPods. We'll set them right there for now. And I think it just disconnected to them because it looks like it connected to my phone. I don't know how to reconnect. Bluetooth. Devices. I can't tell if it's connected or not. Paired, yes. Configured, yes. Connected, no. Okay. Configure. Quit. See if they're connected. They're not connected. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to try to get them to reconnect because they automatically connected to this and it disconnected from there. So let's fix that. Okay, so I'm starting to think that this will not work because every time I connect it and then pull them out of the case, it automatically disconnects them. It was a neat experiment, at least. Let's try one more idea here. Let's delete it. Delete. Delete both of them. Disconnect and delete. Connection lost, okay. Now, there won't be anything but these connected when I try to set them up. So, let's get them back in the case again. There should be nothing pairing to these. Set up new device. Yep. Continue. Headset. Continue. Hold the button in. Continue. Continue. 0000. Continue. They won't stay connected. Is there a way to keep them connected? I wonder. That's weird. Well, it was worth a shot. I was going to demonstrate playing audio through these if it worked, but I don't think it's going to work. It was a neat idea, though. Hey, hey, they're connected. I don't know what I did. Okay. Just set that off to the side. They're connected. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Sound. 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 Output. No options for them. Input. No options for them. Wait a minute. It's got audio. This has no built-in microphone. So that means it's listening through here. That's awesome. Wait a minute. No. Yeah, there is a microphone. I forgot. Well, that sucks. Is this still connected? They're still connected. But what do I do with them now that they're connected? I mean, they're connected, but they're not doing anything. And it'd be really neat if I could figure out something to do with them. But like I figured, Tiger's just not going to let you do it. Yeah, that's definitely coming from these speakers, not these speakers. Well, that sucks. Wish there was another way we could do something, but it doesn't look like we can. But hey, you can connect AirPods to a laptop from 1998. You can't do anything with them, but isn't that neat? Pretty useless, but isn't that neat? Oh well, that was kind of a waste of a part of the video, but it was something interesting, wasn't it? And yes, they are connected still. You can see it says it's connected. It says there's nothing connected to it, but it is connected. It's really weird. I really wish you could. I've had audio put out to Bluetooth speakers before in Tiger. If you could trick these into thinking that these are just regular speakers, they might work. I'm going to try one more thing. Just for the heck of it, I'll be right back. If it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. If it does, you'll be seeing something neat when this comes back. So I'll be right back. Well, I attempted multiple different things and somehow managed to reset these AirPods completely while doing this and set them back to factory default. I don't know how I did that. But after I resynced them to my phone and then tried to get it back up again, it still won't work. What I did is I used another device instead of headsets on this thing, and they just connected. I've been trying to get these to connect. Oh, okay. So these detect as headsets. So they're connected right now. Let's go. They originally were set up as headphones, and now they're set up as earphones, or I don't remember exactly what it said. But if we go back to sound, I've been doing this for like 20 or 30 minutes now. Still doesn't have it. Well, it was worth a shot. It was set up as an entirely different device this time. And they are connected, but they aren't doing anything. I'm going to try one more thing here, just for giggles here. Put them in my ears. And now everything got really quiet. I don't think it's going to work. It'd be really neat if it did. Yep, that's just coming out in the Mac. Oh well, it was worth a shot. So, Anyway, so we're going to do one more thing with this card, which you'll probably get a laugh out of, but we're going to try anyway, so let's get to it. Okay, just for the heck of it, we're going to try one more set of speakers. I've had these work in Tiger before. I've also had another set of Bluetooth speakers work in Tiger before. If these Braven 570s don't work, I'll be shocked, honestly. So we'll turn these on. We'll sync it really quick here. Turn those on. Set up new device. Continue. I think that's the sync button. Yeah, it's the sync button. Headset. It's probably them. Yep, it connected. Now, they're not connected again. It's annoying. Why is it not connected now? Disconnect. Reconnect. Alright, now I'm determined to get something out of a set of Bluetooth something. I'll be right back. I figured it out. It kept auto disconnecting every time it would set up. I don't know why, but once I went into sound options, it showed up and auto connected. So now when I move this, it auto reconnects. It disconnects after a few seconds. I don't know why. It's not anything to do with the card. I think it's just Tiger. And it disconnected again. Well, we had sound come out of it. I don't know why it's not working now. Let's just try one of Athlon's, Noah's songs. See if it plays. Yeah. It's coming out of this. It sounds like crap. Because this is basically, Tiger thinks that these are just for like Skype and stuff like that. So it's playing basically internet audio through them. They were never really meant for this in Tiger. It wasn't until I think Leopard that this actually worked properly. So it sounds like crap in Tiger, but it works, as we can see. That's not moving, this is. I can move it away, move it over here. So we got sound to come out of this through Bluetooth. It was a big waste of time, but something interesting, right? So we can stop that. And just to give you an idea what it sounds like through the actual speakers, if it auto defaults, I don't think it will. Will it? It might just freeze on me. Yeah, it didn't auto default. Internal speakers. That's the internal speakers. So yeah, Tiger wasn't really made to stay connected to Bluetooth speakers except when there's like audio going on. It's really weird how Tiger is, but that gives you a general idea that Bluetooth does work and you can play audio through them. It sounds like garbage. But you know, Got nothing to do with Noah's music. It's all Tiger. That's the problem. But the last thing I want to do is show you something. Let's say you want to plug in a USB 3.0 drive into your USB 2.0 port here. This is a self-powered drive. It won't run without this. And this, you can't plug into anything on this except the card itself, and that defeats the purpose because it means it still has no power, and then you have no USB ports either. So what do? I'll show you. You plug the power into another laptop, or you could also use a USB charger brick. That would probably work too, but where's the fun with that, right? So I've got my MacBook Pro powering the card on this, so I can plug this into it. And let's plug it in and see what happens. Drive spins up. And there it is. We open it up. And there's all the files I have on the drive right now. Get info. There we go. That's my 4 terabyte drive. It works. So that was just a little haha. But hey, it works. You can plug a flash drive, whatever you want into it. It should work. And yeah, that's about it for today. This is a neat card. It does what it needs to. It'd be very useful if you want to run, for instance, OS, I think it's 8.6 or later, and need a USB port on your older Mac laptop. It will work in USB 1.1 speeds, as long as you have the USB drivers enabled, which if you installed it without the card installed, they won't work, but you can enable it after the fact. I don't know how you do it right offhand, and I need to do that for this system. But once you do that, you'll have USB 1.1, and if you decide to go crazy and go to OS 10, you can have Bluetooth too, and I think it's past, I think it's 10.2 enabled USB 2.0 speeds. So you could have USB 2.0 speeds on it too. Really, the use case for this is for a Wall Street and maybe a modified Kanga. But you could do it on like a PowerBook 3400. If you have an upgraded CPU in it and ran OS 10, this card would work for you. It's a small use case, but you can also run this in a Lombard, a Pismo, whatever you want. It will work. And then you have USB 2 speeds. You can even run it in a titanium. Anything that doesn't have USB 2 built in, this would work with. You just sacrifice that port in case you needed Wi-Fi or something, you know. Yeah, that's a trade-off. But let's eject this real quick, and I'll show you what it looks like for the heck of it. With the Wi-Fi plugged in. It's hard to do that with one hand. Really strong spring in there. But now I should have Wi-Fi also any second now. There we go. There's my Wi-Fi card. A Wi-Fi icon didn't show up, but I should be connected to the Wi-Fi. Well, anyway, you get the idea. The Wi-Fi card works. Yeah, and it fits, and you can still plug stuff into it, so that's cool. And still, my favorite feature on this is You can eject the drives, the cards. It auto ejects them, or you can press the button, but we will auto eject it off of this, like so. Pretty cool. There's the last Mac notebook to do that. Might have been the first one too, because it had a tendency of breaking all the time. But yeah, that's the USB card. It works great. It's also, of course, a Bluetooth card. And as you saw, the Bluetooth, it works fine as long as you're not trying to play audio through it. But that's Tiger's fault, not the card's fault. If you ran this in Leopard, it should work fine, I believe. Pretty sure. Leopards, when audio through Bluetooth was more of a thing. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is a really neat card. You need to try it out if you have a system that could use one of these. I would get it. They're being made brand new from China, and they work great on vintage Macs. So it's a neat card to try out. And yeah. Anyway, guys, don't forget I do have a Patreon if you'd like to support me and see these videos a day early, sometimes earlier, depending if I mass produce and whatnot. Maybe see some previews of other things. I don't know. But anyway, if you'd want to support me in Patreon, there will be a link at the end of the video and also in the description below. And that's about it for today. Thank you for watching. This has been a Hrutkay Mods video. Boy, it's warm in here with the fan not running and the heat on. Whew. I think I'm sweating a little bit. Yeah. Well, keep my arms down. Have a, no. Nice stain. Yeah, it looks great on there, I'm sure. Hello, I'm Greg Hrutkay.